welcome to Charlestown and beyond. I'm Kathy Giordano, your host, and a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I'm going to get right into the show here, and I'm going to introduce my very special friend and guest, Tom McDonald. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Cookie. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I'm so thrilled you could be here tonight.
Thank you.
And as you all know, Tom is the director of the Harvest on Vine Food Pantry located down on Harvest Square. And that is the organization that I have dedicated this program to. And you know, because at the end of each show, I ask you to donate something towards them. So let's talk about the food pantry, Tom. How are things going down there?
Well, they're going good in the sense that we have plenty of food, we have plenty of volunteers, and the sad part is we have plenty of clients that need help, and that the numbers just keep going up each year. And but Charlestown, the neighborhood is so generous, the parishes, the churches, that we always have enough food to give each family about a week's worth of food when they leave. And
that's great.
And this year we were very lucky at Thanksgiving, which you were nice enough to film and have on your show. We gave out over 760 turkey dinners, I think it was, that day.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was nice.
You had such a routine going there. It was just like, doot, and they went home with their Thanksgiving dinner. It was fantastic. And every volunteer was so happy. Their faces were beaming, and they were so happy. And the recipients the same way. It was, you know, it's a great community that you put together down there.
Yep, that's what we try to create, is an environment where it's more community. The word, a little bit of solidarity, where we're together, we're as one, and the person on the giving side gets just as much as the person on the receiving side, and that's the way we want it to be, and we're lucky.
Yeah, and let's dismiss what everyone would think of as a recipient at the food pantry. I know, of course, there are people who really are needy, but for reasons that people have no control, middle-class people, working people, blue-collar, and sometimes the wealthy among us who lose their job, they also have need for a help. And no one is turned away, and it's something that I think the residents of Charlestown should think more about, is that there is always a need, no matter who the person is, and that everyone should contribute in some way to the Harvest on Vine.
Well, we're very lucky. Charlestown, it's a real community, I don't have to tell you. And if I ask for anything, I mean, I get it in abundance. I really do. And you know, I just have to say one thing to one person, and all of a sudden 25 people know about it, and all of a sudden my office is filled with breakfast cereal, for example. And because there's a lot of kids in that development, there's close to 800 kids living there, and those are just the ones on lease. There's a lot that, you know, that are,
through the community, throughout Charlestown, even down towards Sullivan Square. It's, it's not like everyone thinks, oh, they all come from the housing development. That's not true.
No, there's a lot of working families that come. And they need that little help just to get through the month, and that's our little part that we can do. And because the people in Charlestown and the parishioners and the organizations are so generous, that we can give out, you know, we'll give out in the average of 6 or 8 tons of food each distribution, and
phenomenal.
That's going right out into the neighborhood to the families that really need a little bit of help.
But I bet it's also helpful. I know that you've told me that we need coffee this week, we need cereal, you know, the different weeks. But it has to be anyone watching from around the United States, and I know you're out there, gets a financial donation in the mail would be a great gift. It doesn't have, it could be $5, $25, it can be anything. And I just assume that would be very helpful.
Well, the nice thing about getting a financial donation is I can buy in bulk. You know, so if I get $5 from this person and $5 from this, and all of a sudden I have a couple $100, and I can get cases of rice instead of a bag of rice. You know, and it's cheaper per item when I do it that way.
So if you're out there, I know I have a lot of viewers in California and in Florida, send a check any amount will be greatly received, and it's Harvest on Vine, 49 Vine Street, God's Country, Charlestown, 02129. And you can send it care of Tom McDonald, M-A-C, McDonald. He's the director. So let's hope that stirs up something for you,
Thanks,
Tom.
Cookie.
You know?
It'll make a big difference.
But I understand you're having I should say, too, that this is a live call-in show tonight. And if you can give us a call at 617-708-3290, you can talk with Tom directly. You're having a big fundraiser next week, your annual fundraiser.
Yep.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, next Thursday, on the 28th of April at the Knights of Columbus at 6:30, we have our annual spring fundraiser. And this year, we have Sandy Griffin Catering. And we usually have Tony V as the comedian host, and Carson Tager, who's a big disc jockey in town. He also lives in Charlestown. But Tony, I just found out, just coming in the door, that he has a prior engagement. He thought it was tonight. It's next Thursday, the 28th. And so Steve Sweeney is going to pinch hit for him.
Wow.
So Steve's going to host it, and he's a lot of fun. And
that onto itself is worth going.
Yes, yeah, that's worth.
Yes,
yeah, so,
yes.
So Steve's going to help us out, and he's a great guy. He's helped me out on a number of things in the past, and
he's a townie.
and he said, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he is," and then some. And Tony's wonderful. He's been doing it since we started, and so we'll have a good time.
You will.
Yeah.
You will. And the tickets are reasonable. And give me your phone number where they can call in case they want to get more information.
Sure, they can just call me at 617-990-7314, and that's my cell, so I can take care of it right away.
We'll mention that again a couple of times during the show. So it starts at 7?
6:30.
6:30. I'm glad I
And
asked.
Sandy will have the food ready right then, so people aren't waiting around to,
That's
they can eat
great.
right when they get there, and it should be good. There'll be raffle prizes and auction items. Like we have someone donated a week down the Cape, a waterfront, house on the Cape, one up in Maine. So it should be good. Couple of ball games. We have tickets, 4 tickets to a Red Sox, I think it's Astros game, pavilion seats. Then we have box seats, and there's some more tickets coming in. And I also think for my next book, I'm going to auction off a character name in the book.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great?
That's fun. People enjoy that, so. And then the money all goes to the pantry, and it always.
Which again is well
Yeah.
needed,
Yeah.
and wouldn't that be great, huh?
Yeah.
So it's next Thursday night. It is the 28th of April. The doors open at 6:30?
6:30.
Starts at
Well,
6:30?
probably 6 even
Yeah.
if you get there. But Sandy will be ready to go at 6:30, and
And I understand Tommy Cuniv is setting up a couple of more tables, so if you want tickets, there
Yeah.
will be seats for you. I can't promise that they'll be available next Thursday when you go down. There might be a few. So give Tom a call at 617-990-7314 to reserve your seat now, or that for your a whole table. Wouldn't that be? That's a fun night.
it is. It's a good
fun
night. And since you mentioned Tommy's name, I just want to thank the Knights of Columbus they always take care of us at night. They provide the bartenders. They set the hall up. They break it down. They're just great to us. They really are. And also the Daughters of Isabella always donate. And so we're very lucky to have these organizations helping us out.
Yeah, well, the Knights is so generous.
They're wonderful.
The men of the Knights, they really help out all the nonprofits in Charleston the best they can. And they're good souls. They're good souls.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Harvest on the Vine now. It's at 49 Vine Street.
Yep.
Call again your number to find out when the pickups are, or if you want to announce it. What is the process? I'm going down to you tomorrow now. Say I'm coming down, and I need food for my family. What happens?
Well, we have 2 distributions a month. It's the second Saturday at 10 in the morning, and the last Tuesday at 7 at night. So the next one will be next Tuesday, the 26th. And we ask that people come to one or the other just so we can get everyone food. Although I probably shouldn't say this, but we've never turned anyone away.
You haven't,
you know.
no.
And if people are dropping food off, I'm there all week, and or I can come pick it up. So we have we have a list of people. All they have to, we just ask that they be from Charlestown.
Yes.
We just don't have quite enough money to to open it to the whole city.
Well, you have
So-
well over 700 families
Yeah,
as it is.
yeah, we do,
in
and
Charlestown.
and that amounts to pretty close to 2,000 people. So we really do. We just check. We just say, can you bring an ID that shows you're from Charlestown?
Yeah.
Even if it's just a bill or something.
Right.
And then we, that's how we do it.
That's fantastic, Tom. Now, speaking, we all assume most of the people that come to you live in the housing development right next door, even though that's not true. What's going on with the housing development? I mean, it's the talk of the town. They're going to tear it down and rebuild. And what's going on? Do you know?
Yeah, I've been to a number of meetings. The whole neighborhood has, and a group called Corcoran Jennison is going to rebuild. I shouldn't say they're going to tear down and build a new, the whole neighborhood. And right now there's roughly, I'm going to say about 1,125 apartments. And the new development will have roughly 3,000.
Wow.
So they're going up. Instead of the 3-story buildings,
Oh, they'll be taller.
they're going
rather than
up
3 stories.
5-6 stories, kind of like 100 Farron Street, where they go up a little higher. And everyone who lives in Charlestown now in the development is guaranteed an apartment
Wonderful.
when it's finished.
Wonderful.
So so there's a lot going into it. They've really built a nice communication. They have a liaison guy named David Tauher, who's a great guy. He's down in there meeting everyone. He works for Corcoran Jennison. He's their liaison, so he's having meetings all the time. He had one last week where there must have been 30 organizations.
Wonderful.
The Knights were there, like Tommy Cuna, those guys. And so they're trying to do it right, and their renderings are they have the streets are going to go through now instead of like Lexington Street. Instead of stopping at Bunker Hill, we'll go all the way through down to Medford.
great.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So they've helped develop a tenant task force of 15 residents of Asian, Hispanic, Black, White. So everyone's represented, and they're going forward. My understanding is they won't break ground until sometime in late 2017.
So when will the people be moving out?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that's the tough part. I'm not sure
You have
when.
to find a place for them to
Well, they
go
have to
in
find
the
a place for
meantime.
them, and they all love Charlestown.
Yeah.
They love living there, and so that's going to be a tough thing to figure out, but they're working on it.
But it's not just going to be the residents from the housing development. They're also going to have market rate units
Yes.
and
Yeah.
moderate rate, or?
Well, we're hoping they have the 1,100, whatever, will be for the people that can return. They'll have, those are guaranteed, those are permanent. So even if someone returned and moved, that apartment will stay
good.
subsidized. They have the rest right now, I think, as market rate, but there's a movement to try to get, I forget what it's called, it's like an intermediate step where people, like a sliding scale thing where maybe 10 or 12% would be for people that aren't quite at, the upper end
Yeah,
of the, that the rents would be a little more reasonable. So
Are they going to be any ownership, or are they all rentals?
there's this talk of condominiums also as part of it. That might be more down towards the oilies, down that end.
Oh,
None of this is just from me. None of it's none of it's inked right now. But these are all the ideas. These are the things I've heard at meetings. And if somebody wants to move on, they'll be given a Section 8 voucher. Like if they moved up here, we have families that one family moved up from Tennessee. They might want to. It's a federal voucher. They might want to live back down there, and they can take that and go there. So. But there's a lot of moving parts, and they're
Oh, I'm sure.
they're working on it. And Corcoran Jennison really, you know, I have some faith in them that they'll do the right thing here.
And I believe this is a model in Boston. It's the
Yeah.
first time this has been tried in Boston.
Yeah, it's the biggest housing
Yes, it is.
undertaking in the city.
Well, it's the biggest housing development
Yeah.
in New England.
Yeah, it is, and it's something like, I forget how many acres, but it's a lot, you know, I don't know, 30, 40 acres of land. And they also, they did the Harbor Point, which used to be Columbia Point,
Right.
and that's kind of their model for success. And I did one in Maverick Square recently, that, more recently, and they have it down, you know, and I think they'll do right by the residents of Charlestown. Yeah, I really do.
That's great.
So,
Well, let's wish them luck
yeah.
in nice new homes.
We need it down there, Cookie.
Yeah.
We need it.
Oh, Charlestown needs it. Charlestown, there is not enough housing in Charlestown for middle-income folks, you know. Okay, let me talk about Tom McDonald, the renowned author. All right, here's Tom's latest book. Where can I put it? So there you go. Here we are. Oh,
they have
look, they have the cover. This is your third in a series of books, and not to be the last. Let's talk about The Revenge of Liam McCrew. Great book.
Thank you, Cookie.
Great
Thanks.
book.
And
So how's the book going?
it's great. It's first of all, thank you for supporting me on this. My wife and I decided to publish this on our own. The first two books were published by Ocean View Publishing, which they were great to us, but we wanted to kind of try it on our own, and we asked people for some help, and Cookie is one of the people that helped us, and I'm very grateful for that. The book's doing okay. It's doing well. It's getting great reviews, and
Well, I understand there's some kind of an award being discussed here.
it's you know it's not the Pulitzer, you know. I mean, it's just but it was a finalist in something called the Beverly Hills International Literary Award. So that was nice to hear, and it just was a finalist recently in something called the Next Generation Indie Book Awards. So yeah, it's little things to say.
Little
Hey, someone
things.
read it and liked it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
What it means, I don't know, but it's
it means it's being appreciated as
Yeah.
it should be. I love your series of books. The first one was The Charlestown Connection,
yeah.
and then came Beyond the Bridge, and now The Revenge of Liam McCrew. I love them because they're mysteries, and it involves murder, and it involves Charlestown, and now this island. You've got island in there. Wow. Anyone who likes any one of those, you have to get this book. And now, where could they get a copy? I know let me just say this. You're going to be at the Charlestown Branch Library on Thursday, June 9th. Is it Thursday or
Yeah.
Tuesday? Thursday?
I think it's a Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. At the Friends of the Charlestown Library are hosting you, and you'll have your books there and you'll be autographing them. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to get down and listen to you. So, all right, so the Charlestown Branch Library, June 9th, 7 p.m., you'll be there.
Yeah.
But how else can people find your books? Now, remember, the name of it is The Revenge of Liam McCrew.
Yeah. They can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Any if they have a favorite bookstore,
Yeah.
anyone can order it.
Now, can they look it up under your name as well?
Yeah, I have a,
Because they can get all three books?
Yeah,
Yeah?
they can do that. I have a little website. My wife maintains it. It's called tommcdonaldbooks.com. Thank you for the plug, Cookie. And
TomMcDonaldBooks.com.
.com. Yeah, and so they're all available at all the stores. So it's easy to get. It's on Kindle too, the old
Oh,
electronic
good,
reader,
good.
and Nook and all that stuff.
Oh, folks, pick one up. Okay, I have a question. The recurring lead role in these books is Dermot Sparhawk.
Yes.
He's quite a character. He's really something. Mr. Author, is there any of Tom McDonald in Dermot Sparhawk?
Dermot Sparhawk is, as you know, Cookie, he's half Irish, half Micmac Indian. And if there's anything in him, it's like an idealized self. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got it all over me. You know, I mean, he played football at Boston College. He was an All-American. He was this and that. But I really, my favorite, like you, my favorite stories are like detective novels,
Yes.
mysteries. And I also like the idea of the story having a hero.
Yes.
You know,
and you
that-
keep on with the
Yeah.
same hero,
Yeah,
which
so
is
that
wonderful.
different things he has to overcome. In this case, of him, and it's so I really try to use that whole model. It's called the hero's journey. You've probably seen the tapes of Joseph Campbell
Yeah.
with Bill Moyers,
Yeah.
and he really goes through the whole myth. Like it goes, it's timeless, and goes back to myth and legend, and it's the same stories. It's like the hero's challenged with something, he tries to overcome it, he gets stopped at first, and then he eventually prevails. You know,
Prevails. Oh,
so that's
Lord.
kind of the.
Yeah, I'm reading this book here, and it said, I wonder if Tom is living through a fictional life here with Durbin. Oh, God. I just got the 2-minute warning.
Uh-oh.
I know, this went by so fast. So, folks, if you want to get a hold of Tom about the books, about Harvest on the Vine, call him at 617-990-7314. Don't forget the fundraiser a week from tonight, Thursday, April 28th, Knights of Columbus, 6:30. You'll have a great time, and you'll be donating to a great cause. All right, Tom, I close every show by letting folks know what is the need for the food pantry this week.
Thanks, Cookie. We really, we need, I say this all the time, but it's because we have so many kids. We need breakfast cereal.
Okay.
Breakfast cereal is the best thing that people can donate. We were just talking before the show, we also can use toilet paper. We go through it. I'll get cases and cases, and we just go through it like you wouldn't believe. So we could use those 2 items.
That's a really needed expense for
Yeah.
folks. I mean, they're not cheap anymore.
No.
So that's a great idea. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
You know, you really look for the needs of these people. I thank you so much from the town.
Thanks, Cookie.
That's, oh, God, thank you so much for being here with me, Tom. You're
I
such
love you,
a
Cookie.
good friend. I
Thank
love
you.
And Mary
You're just
Beth,
great.
say hello to
Thank
my
you.
Mary Beth,
I
his
will.
lovely wife, Mary Beth. So that's it for this week's, folks. I'm so glad you could join us and listen to my dear friend, Tom McDonald. And until next time, I want to remind you, Charlestown, take care of one another. And I've been so pleased to be with you this evening. I'm Kathy Giordano. Good night.